Let's get started. Thanks for joining today. I appreciate your time. Let's work on our mobility. Sitting real tall. Engage your core. Now from here, focus on your posture. Maintaining real good posture. We're going to start with our arm. One arm, real big circle. We're starting with the shoulders. So a side view. As you're trying to sit tall and work on your core, you're also working on your shoulder mobility. So the challenge is trying to get a big circle, reach back behind you. It's okay to turn and twist the body a little bit. Then come up above your head towards the sky, towards the ceiling, right out in front, right down pointing towards the floor. This is where you get that mobility, the stretch. Trying to reach back behind you and then coming over. It's this little section. You can kind of think of it as like the 3 o'clock hand and the 12 o'clock hand. This little section of movement right there is where you get that good stretch right around this area. So you really want to try to work on that mobility and then change directions. Go the opposite way. Real big circle. Still trying to accomplish the same thing. Getting as big as you can within your own range of motion. Now everyone's different, right? Someone may have a smaller arm circle, but that's as big as they could get, and they feel the same type of stretching that someone else may feel as going as big as me. So it's all relative depending on you and what you can do. But some movement is better than no movement at all. Let's go to the other side. Same thing, sitting real tall, engage your core, other arm, big circle, pick a direction, it doesn't matter. And then of course you're comfortable in the legs, you're relaxed through your feet, legs. And you're really trying to work on the rotation, twisting and turning back, reaching behind you, coming up above you, and then below, in front and below. I'm just trying to get real big. Change directions. Same arm, big circle, do what you can. Just a few more. Last one. Alright, so now we're going to work on our rotation through our lower lumbar, our spine. So we're just going to try to turn and twist, grabbing the chair. Your feet, remember your feet. Legs pointing straight ahead. Posture's still tall. Core is somewhat engaged. And you can grab the chair to help you turn. Now you have so many options. Depending on your chair, depending on your ability, where you can grab and push. But try to set yourself up nice where you can even push against your leg and wrap around and grab the back end of your chair. You can grab the seat of your chair. I like to have my hand on my knee. And it helps me keep my knee pointing forward, my legs pointing forward as I try to turn and twist. And remember, don't force it. Go to the other side. You do what you can. You're just trying to turn and stretch. We're stretching out our lower back. A little bit of your erector spinae, your obliques, that kind of waistline area. Your spine is getting a little rotation. But again, you never want to force it. You just do what you can. Go to the other side, one more time on each side. Again, working with your chair, your body, do what you can, and stretch. Go back to that first side we started with. Nice and easy turns or twists. Other side, nice and easy. Okay, coming out of that, let's work on lateral flexion. Feet kind of wide, still sitting tall. You can get your core to work on this one and work on your obliques, which are also known as your love handles. So this one can get some side core action while we work on lateral flexion, lateral flexibility. As we do the airplanes, one arm goes down while the other arm goes up, and you're just leaning side to side. Go down as far as you're comfortable with. Now think about your core. Tighten up the stomach as you go down, and then really tighten it up and flex that stomach as you come up. And now this has turned into a mobility exercise for that lower back area, the sides of your body, the lateral sides of our body, and then you're getting core work with mobility. So it's a great little combo. To stretch out right here, you feel that big stretch through that elongated side. And then you're using your core to help bring your torso up and vertical. And then you shift. Go to the other side. Get that good stretch. And come up. Now we can play with the arm. So that top arm, the arm that comes up, if you want more of a stretch, when you come down and you've reached your maximum point, wherever that is coming down, you can start to move that arm out away from everything, away from your body, away from that midline. And now you really have a long range of stretching going on through the side. Use your core to come back. Now you don't have to hold it as long as I just did. I was just demonstrating, but you can hold it for, a couple of seconds. If it feels good and you can hold it for longer, great. But you're just kind of going side to side, doing what you can. Maybe 3-5 second hold, reach out towards the side wall now. And you just feel that bigger stretch through the side of your body. You're getting your upper back, your lats, which are it's this big back muscle right alongside the rib cage and the armpit area. One more on each side. Again, reaching out and across. Using your core. Remember the stomach. Flex your stomach. And stop. All right. Let's move on to the figure 4. So crossing the knee, crossing at the knee. This is what we're going for. If this is hard, cross at the ankle, cross at the knee. You see some people sometimes they're just sitting in an event, or they're eating at dinner, or they're just kind of casually sitting and reading. This is a very common leg position, and then from there, you bring that ankle up towards that outside area of the knee on that grounded leg, and now you have this kind of right angle with that left leg. For me, I'm on my left. Apply a little pressure, push down. If that's easy, you lean into it and you hold on strong with your hands and you press down through the inside part of that leg with your elbow and forearm. And you're just trying to get a good stretch there. Pushing down. Nice and easy switch. Go to the other side. Same thing. Applying light pressure in the beginning. Alright, so very, very light, very gentle, always in the beginning. And then As you feel like you can get more into it, you get more into it and apply more pressure. But we never force the stretching, the mobility. You just kind of work within your own comfort zone. And so go back to the other leg. So we wanted to stretch out first so that now we can move on to our feet. So you want to take off your shoes. We're going to get into that same figure 4 again. But now it should be easier to hold, and we don't really want to worry about stretching. We really want to worry about our foot now. So using your thumb, dig in a little bit to the arch, the middle of your foot. And just kind of work that whole area of your arch. Kind of moving that foot, pressing your thumb, digging that thumb in. You can manipulate your toes, kind of squeeze the toes. You can move them around. You can kind of twist your foot a little bit, just creating mobility. You're just kind of loosening it up. When we wear our shoes a lot, your foot gets tight, it's constricted, it's kind of inside a shell. And so it has limited movement. It can't move so freely. So sometimes it's nice to take off your shoes, kind of pull on the toes a little bit, stretch them out, bend them a little bit, create that mobility. You can even squeeze your heel with your entire hand, just kind of clamping down on that heel. And just, doing whatever you can. It takes a little bit of hand strength to do that. Let's go to the other side, but you should notice when your foot comes down, it might be a little tingly. It feels pretty good. Other side. And so again, we're just setting up the leg. We're not trying to worry about stretching. We already did that for the hip. Now we're just trying to manipulate the foot and dig the thumb into the arch, move it around a little. And just manipulate the toes, the knuckles. They're called the metatarsals of your feet, where it's the knuckle of your foot that kind of leads up into the ankle. So that you have these like knuckle areas that connect to the toes. And so you have these metatarsals all right here that you're just trying to manipulate and move. Metatarsals, you can kind of think of the toes as an extension of that. Right where those knuckles are of your feet, the balls of your feet, move those around, move the toes around. Pull on the toes a little bit, pull them out, away from the rest of the foot, bend them a little. Again, just manipulating and doing what you can. Digging your thumbs in there, squeezing the heel. Okay, moving on. Let's work on our hamstrings. And you can keep your shoes off. One leg is forward. Posture is real tall. We have to be mindful of our posture on this one because we want to bend forward from the waist and not round our back, not round our spine. So I'm going to give you a little side view. One leg is straight, the other leg is bent. Posture is real tall. Think about bending forward from the waist. Keep that tall posture. Your shoulders are up and back and a little down. Two hands just sliding down the straight leg. And you want to try to keep that flat low back as best as you can. So you're trying to bend forward, you're trying to hinge from the hips and slide the fingers down the shin. And you should be getting a nice little stretch there in your lower in the back of the quads, the hamstrings, behind the thigh. the back of your upper leg, your upper thigh. Other side, so now the other leg is nice and straight, and then we have to reset that posture again. So shoulders up and back and a little down. Engage your core. Think about bending forward from the waist. 2 hands sliding down the shin. Try to maintain that good posture. Nice and easy, come out of that. And let's work on our neck a little bit. Let's loosen up that neck. A little bit more of the shoulders. We're going to get some more arms in there. Let's work on the shoulders first, actually. So, left arm right out in front of you. Cross over to your right and hook it with your right arm. And bring it in nice and tight. Hold it there at the elbow. I like holding my arm at the elbow. Squeezing in between my forearm and bicep on my other side, so you can see I'm hooking it and I'm holding it in place. I like to hook it at the elbow so that it keeps my arm straight, and then I really get that good stretch at the top of the arm. You kind of lose it if you bend your arm and you kind of wrap around. You don't get that good stretch in the deltoid upper arm area. So it helps to try to keep your arm straight, pulling against it at the elbow, right behind that elbow. And you feel that stretch right there in the upper arm. Go to the other side. So now right arm is straight, crosses over to the left arm hooks right at the elbow. Keep that right arm straight and you feel it at the top of the deltoid, that elbow, or I'm sorry, that shoulder area. The top of the right arm, the deltoid. You feel that good stretch through there. You're opening up your backside as well, your posterior shoulder, the scapula area. You're kind of opening that up and exposing it. So you get a little stretch for your upper back. Okay, so now we're going to hit the tricep and we're going to loosen up a little bit more of the lats and the kind of the teres major, minor over here in our back muscles. So, left arm out in front of you. Touch your left shoulder with your left hand. Bring that left arm up towards the sky. Point that elbow up. If you need help when this is hard, you push from below. If this is easy and you're not feeling much of a stretch, then we pull from up above and we try to pull that arm behind our head. Now it forces your head to move a little forward, your neck, right? And that's okay. We're not holding for very long. You want to just sit as tall as you can. Do whatever you want with your legs. Whatever feels comfortable. I mean, you can have your feet wide. I was crossing them. It's really, you don't need to pay attention to your legs a whole lot. Just the upper body stretch or the upper arm stretch. Okay, so now let's go to the right side. Right arm, palm up. Touch your right shoulder with your right hand. And then either pushing from below or pulling from up above, you're trying to pull that arm behind your head. And that is a challenge. And you feel that stretch through the tricep, the back of your arm, all through here. And it leads into that shoulder complex, the lats. There's so much musculature down here in that armpit area, shoulder complex area. All right. Neck. Tilt to one side. Posture is real tall. Make sure your shoulders are down, by the way. Right? So drop the shoulders, tilt to one side. Make sure those arms are relaxed, the shoulders are relaxed. Try not to shrug. Get your ears away from the shoulders or the shoulders away from your ears, however you want to think about it. Other side. Let's come down, drop the chin. right, nice and easy. Let's stand up. We're going to finish with a couple of stretches. One for the upper body. One of my favorites. Great for the chest. Just nice and easy. Swings, crossing in front of your body. So you're alternating which arm comes up on top, crisscrossing in front of the chest, and your arms are angled fairly low, right? You don't want to have your arms above your shoulder height. Below shoulder height is ideal. And you're really trying to be loose through your hands, your arms. And think about your chest and your back, your upper back, creating the movement. Right? Your chest muscles are creating that movement forward. Your upper back muscles are creating that movement and pulling those arms back behind you. And you try to feel the stretch as you go back here. And then you feel the stretch through your upper back as we cross in front and those shoulder blades open up. So it's a great dual stretch for the front and back part of your body. Moving on. And you don't have to do it for very long. Very easy to do. Let's stand behind our chair or something sturdy and stable. One leg forward, one leg back. Feet are pointing straight ahead. Both feet straight ahead. Keep the heel down on that back foot. And we are trying to stretch our calves. The back of our lower leg. So you really have to think about that back leg is straight, or as straight as you can, get it, and then drive the heel down to the floor. And you're leaning into that chair or stable surface, whatever it is, make sure it doesn't move, right? You don't want to slide as you're stretching. Switch legs. Same thing. One leg is bent and forward. It's supporting you. The other leg is back and straight. And then that heel is down on that back foot. Pointing those feet straight ahead. Right? And then the back heel is down, back leg is straight. That is the key. And then you start to feel that stretch behind the shin, the calf. Okay, the last thing we're going to do. Easy balance. A little different. I'm trying to give you a little bit of a different routine today. Kind of go in a different order and do some different things. Trying to cover more and work on our balance here. Posture's tall, shoulders up and back. Engage your core. If you need a chair, use your chair. One hand, two hands, set it up where it's most convenient for you, where you feel the most stable and safest. So if that means it's on your side, you want a little bit of a challenge, off to the side is a great way to get on that, to work on that. In front of you with two hands down, a little bit easier to manage. So that's more beginner when it's in front, a little more intermediate to the side. Advanced, you're not trying to hold on at all. And you're working on your core, your posture as you're holding on and staying off the other foot. And the other foot is however you want to hold it, whatever feels comfortable. The key is posture, a little bend in the knee on the standing leg, the grounded leg, slightly unlocked in that knee. Because if you're locked out at the knee and your leg is completely straight, the joints take the brunt of your weight and they really put a lot of unnecessary pressure on your joints. So the goal is to bend the knee. So instead that weight, that tension goes in the muscles. Other side, other leg, posture's tall, core is engaged, pull in that belly button. Have a focal point, something to stare at. Good tall posture. Do what you can. And again, flexing that stomach, pulling in the belly button, tightening it up, belly button to spine, engaging the core, flexing your core, however you want to think about it. And just work on that balance. Remember a little bend in the knee on the standing leg, the grounded leg, slightly unlocked. Strong core, shoulders up and back and a little down. And we are all done, guys and girls. Thank you so much for joining today. Good work. Bravo. Until next time, take care and keep working on that mobility.